Hi guys, today I'm not doing the whole honest tear bit, but I am taking you with me on a packing journey instead. I am right now in the middle of trying to pack for about 2.5 weeks because I'm first going away to Leeds for a bit of a city break, and then we're going up to the Swedish mountains for about a week, and then we're going to another place, and then I'm dropping my husband off. Well, no, he's dropping me off to a fourth place. And then when we get back home, his friend will be here for about 5 days. So this means I need to pack for a city holiday, for hiking in the mountains, and for just hanging out at our relatives' home. And yeah, so it's a bit of a logistic nightmare, but since my husband and I live apart, that means we travel a lot back and forth, and I've become quite travel savvy, if I may say so. So today I'm going to show you how I pack for a city trip or when I'm traveling abroad, because it varies a bit where I travel. But you are going to get my 10 best tips. Here we are, my 10 best tips for when it comes to traveling abroad. Yeah, because when you're not on a plane, you can bring more stuff, but we can't do that now. Here are my 10 best tips for how I like to travel and pack when I go abroad. Tip number 1. I always write a list, like what do I need to pack, what do I need to bring, like toiletries, clothes, my health kit, what do I need to remember to do before I leave home, like keep the blinds down if it's a very hot summer, or like empty the trash, empty the fridge if you're going away for a long time, stuff like that. And I also have a list depending on if I'm going on a winter holiday or a summer holiday, because the list varies a bit. Like on a summer holiday I'll bring the hand fan, the sun lotion, the sun hat, stuff like that, and the winter holiday I'll obviously have gloves and hats and scarves. So yeah, the list depends, and but all the other things are kind of the same. So I thought I would write this list down and I'll share it with you guys, and you can just take from it what you want and print and use it for yourself. Tip number 2, I always pack some sort of a health kit. I try and keep it as small as possible, and it usually contains like band-aids, Compeeds. That's my husband coming home. Hello!
Hello.
Be quiet! And usually Compeed and something, because I usually get cold sores quite easily, but since I've started eating cranberry powder, it's gotten a lot better. So I gonna travel with that as well now. And I also bring my B12, my D vitamins, like strepsils if I have a sore throat, C-bands because I get motion sickness quite easily, and also motion sickness chewing gums, and I take those every time the plane lifts, because then I'll be safe for a whole journey. Tip number 3. Usually during a city break I only take hand luggage, so I need to keep the toiletry bag and all my necessities as tiny and small as possible. So what I'll do, I'll get like traveling toothpaste, which is very tiny, and and since you can't bring a scissor, I'll usually take a nail clipper and a nail file instead. What else? Yeah, I think the trick here is just to keep it as small as possible, because you do need to fit everything into that very tiny plastic bag. Tip number 4, I always keep all the important documents like train tickets, bus tickets, where my hotel is at, the booking confirmation, if I have boarding cards, if I have boarding cards, but now I'll check in on my phone instead, so one less paper to worry about. And yeah, obviously my passport. I just try and keep all the important stuff together and organized, so I know where everything is. Number 5, I always travel with a big scarf, because one, it's super comfortable. It's because number 1, it's super comfortable to bring on the plane, and you can use it as a blanket, or you'll just roll it up and use it as a pillow. Usually I have it on me so it doesn't take up a lot of space in my suitcase, and use it as a scarf in different ways. And since it's so big, I can like use it as a blanket if we're outside having a picnic or something. So yeah, a big scarf is by far my number 1 traveling tip, especially on an airplane. Tip number 6, and I can't stress this one enough, especially if you're just traveling with a carry-on: make all your clothes match. Like all the stuff you bring, all of it needs to mix and match. I usually travel with 2 pairs of shoes because, well, one, it's very good to let both your feet and shoes rest, especially if you've been walking in them for the whole day. What I like to do is I like to lay out all my clothes and look at them, how they look together, and then I try and mix it up with accessories and put them all together. When I plan for what outfits to bring or clothes to bring, I'm always trying to think of a color scheme, like what works together, how can I mix these together, like how do I get the most out of my wardrobe with as little garments as possible. Tip number 7, bring a plastic bag so you can put your dirty laundry in it and separate it from the clothes that are still fresh and clean. Number 8, packing. My husband always let me pack because he's a horrible packer. He really is. He like chucks stuff in there and then he's surprised that everything doesn't fit. But here's what I do. First of all, you need to put the heavy stuff on the bottom of the bag, because as soon as you start rolling it and lifting it, everything's gonna get pushed down. So you need to have like shoes and your toiletry bag at the bottom. And what I also like to do is put my underwear, my socks, like a layer at the bottom of the bag, because it gives a good it gives a good like surface at the bottom of the bag to pack the rest on. So that's what I do. And some things I usually fold the big clothes and roll up the small ones, and you just try it and put it in every little corner you can find. I didn't do it now, but what I usually do is put socks or underwear in my shoes, just because otherwise that is wasted space. Tip number 9, snacks. I always bring some sort of snack with me, and usually in the form of bars or maybe a sandwich or fruit. It depends really on how I'm traveling. If it's a plane, I usually eat something like this because it's so easy to put in your handbag. It doesn't take up a lot of space. But remember, don't bring anything with peanuts in it, okay? Because there are people that are super allergic and you don't want to do that to them. So those have been 9 tips so far, and I know this is a bit of a stretch as a 10th tip, but don't forget your charger adapter. Very important. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you have a lovely summer or a lovely holiday wherever you're going, however you're going, and I'll see you next week. Bye. I completely forgot probably my favorite tip for you, and that is not just to put all your liquids in a plastic bag, but also put all the rest of it in plastic bags. Like I have my toothpaste and my toothbrush in the same bag, you know, to keep the same sort of stuff together. And it's just very easy to pull out of your toiletry bag that way. You know, instead of having those big bulky toiletry bags that you kind of fold together, I do this instead, and it just saves a lot of space. The next tip I also forgot. I like to pack all the miscellaneous stuff like jewelry and chargers and hairbrush, everything, all of that into like a separate little bag. So that way it will all stay together, it won't hurt the clothes or anything, it doesn't get tangled a lot. So I just put everything of that into a bag and place it in the big bag. It's super organized that way. It's easy to just take that one out and all that's left is your clothes. It works perfectly, I think.